Lewis Hamilton and George Russell took advantage of Charles Leclerc's retirement and Carlos Sainz's back of the grid start to finish second and third behind Red Bull's Max Verstappen at Paul Ricard. It was the Silver Arrows' best performance of the season, bringing them within 50 points of Ferrari in the constructors' standings. However, with the W13 finishing a second off pole in qualifying, team principal Toto Wolff admitted that the 2-3 result would not have been possible under normal conditions. Speaking to Sky Sports F1 after the race, Wolff said, "We need to stay humble. Our car is just not good enough at the moment to fight with the guys in front. I'm always a little bit pessimistic because I think I need to be. We are just lacking 6 or 7 tenths to the leaders. Whilst we have stabilized the gap in the race and Verstappen hasn't really been gaining more ground, he was also looking after his tyres. Overall, I think the team effort was great. The drivers did a really good job. George was clever and fast. Lewis, the Lion, was just always there, didn't let loose, and we're doing the maximum at the moment on race day." Wolff also admitted that the team is scratching its head as to why Mercedes appears to be enjoying stronger races than qualifying sessions. "We don't know, but we struggle to bring the tyres in the optimum window. In qualifying sometimes, we have it in the second or the third push lap, and obviously, you're missing the peak then from the first flying lap. Then in the race, you can see that we're losing 3 seconds at the beginning of the race, or 4, and then we're stabilizing and we're actually not so bad. So there's a lot of head scratching going on, but we have the most capable people, the best ones I believe. At the moment it's a little bit trial and error, but it's great to see that science can also improvise and we've got to move fast." Hamilton moved up to the second place after Ferrari's Charles Leclerc retired from the lead at Paul Ricard, a position he held until the finish, crossing the line 10 seconds behind Red Bull's winner Max Verstappen. After taking a break in the cool-down room, Hamilton revealed that his drinks bottle didn't work during the race, making his drive to his season best result even more difficult. "What amazing weather we've had, and that was actually a tough race because my drinks bottle didn't work. But what a great result considering we've been so far off these guys all weekend. Reliability is one thing that my team has been amazing at, so a huge congratulations to the team back in the 2 factories, the team here who without them we couldn't get this podium, and George did an amazing job today as well. I didn't see my weight just now, but I would imagine I probably lost around 3 kilos. So yeah, it's enough. I'm looking forward to downing the rest of this drink." Hamilton was encouraged by his 4th consecutive podium as well as Mercedes' first double podium of 2022 with teammate George Russell finishing 3rd. He was encouraged to see Mercedes can at least compete with Red Bull and Ferrari in terms of race pace, and he hopes that further improvements will help bridge the gap. When asked about his expectations for the Hungarian Grand Prix next week, he said, "It's going to be hard to beat the Ferraris and the Red Bulls. You see, they have the pace advantage still. But I'm hoping we will bring some sort of upgrade to that track and hopefully take a step forward closer to them. You can see us in the race, we can at least lean on them a little bit, so hopefully in that race even closer." Meanwhile, teammate Russell battled Red Bull's Sergio Perez for the final podium spot in the closing stages of the Grand Prix. The pair made contact at the turn 8 chicane when Russell made a late lunge, forcing Perez to take avoiding action and run through the corner. Russell was enraged that Perez kept the lead, which went unpunished by race officials after an investigation, and expressed his displeasure over the Mercedes team radio, prompting Wolff to tell the Briton to keep his head down twice. Russell, who eventually took 3rd from Perez after a late virtual safety car message glitch caught the Red Bull out, commented on this, saying he enjoyed Wolff's input and believes it helps bring driver and team a bit closer together in these high-intensity situations. "I think emotions are high there for all of us. I felt like I did a mega move on Checo and ultimately didn't get to keep the position. We definitely had a bit more pace there. I quite enjoyed hearing Toto on the radio, but ultimately from my side, you're absolutely going flat out. We're in this together as a team, and when you're sat in the car, sometimes you do feel a bit alone because we're in the car, we're doing everything we can, and you don't know what the engineers are looking at. The engineers don't totally feel what we're feeling within the car, and sometimes having these exchanges brings it a little bit closer together." On the clash with Perez, Russell felt he was owed the position to the letter of the law, stating, "I was pretty disappointed not being able to keep that position. I felt it was my corner. I was down the inside. I had my front wheels in the front of his rear wheels, and to the latter of the law, it was my corner. And he squeezed me a bit onto the curb, and he went wide and kept his position. I guess we'll talk about it after, but nevertheless, these things have a way of working themselves out, and the VSC restart was pretty tasty. From Perez's perspective, if he didn't cut the corner, a crash would occur, potentially destroying both drivers' races. In response to the radio message, Wolff stated that he felt compelled to speak with Russell directly because he could see that he was stuck in a loop of anger at the situation. I felt that he was a little bit stuck in a loop of being upset about the situation. And obviously as a driver, you're in your little cockpit. And I felt that he had to face that. He just needed to drop the upsetness and concentrate whether he could beat him on track. And in the end, he was just clever. And there was confusion with the virtual safety car. He just did it. Mercedes made headlines during pre-season testing when it arrived in Bahrain with a super slim side pod design dubbed the Zero Pod as one of the most significant design deviations under the new regulations. Throughout the early part of the season, however, Mercedes has struggled to match the performance of front-runners Red Bull Racing and Ferrari. With updates this year, most teams have opted to switch to a Red Bull-style concept for their side pods, the most recent being Williams, which has also switched to a downwash bodywork design. It leaves Mercedes as the sole team using the slim sidepod concept, but the team's trackside engineering director Andrew Chauvelin was confident that its difficulties were not due to the design route. Chauvelin was skeptical that making a change would significantly improve Mercedes' performance, and he did not anticipate a significant change in the car's appearance this year. We don't think that just changing our sidepod will change our competitiveness. We're certainly not of that mind, nor are we wedded to saying that this is how the Mercedes car must look. So from the very early part of the year, we're looking at other teams' bodyworks, and certainly with a view to next year, looking up and down the grid to see ideas. It may be that we don't just take another team's idea. We're looking at combinations of different concepts. It's a gradual process, but I think fundamentally, our car isn't going to change appearance massively this season. But I'd be surprised if next year's car looks the same. Toto Wolff also admitted that the team still doesn't know what works and what doesn't, which he describes as a big problem. So how the car is gonna look, I don't know, because there's probably more in terms of performance to be found from areas which are under the bonnet or under the sideboard. So we shall see. There's nothing in the tunnel that is already giving some indication of where it stands. Thank you for your time. Be sure to like, subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified of future uploads. And let us know in the comments what you think. Will Mercedes get back to their race-winning form anytime sooner? What are your predictions for Hungary? Will the track suit them better?